Hello and welcome once again to Red Gaming Tech for your daily dose of the latest gaming news with myself, Amata. Today is still the 19th of September and I have some more news for you today concerning the Ouya and their Free the Games fund. Now, it has been revealed today that the Ouya is making important changes to the way the Free the Games fund actually works, after it publicly admitted that the program contained, quote, too many loopholes, Now, this is a $1 million promotion that has been offered to match the donations made to Kickstarter games that raise at least $50,000 in exchange for a 6-month exclusivity contract for the Ouya. Now, obviously, news of the controversy surrounding this fund have been all over the place, as a number of games that successfully qualified for the program were accused of foul play, and one of these games was Gridiron Thunder and Elementary My Dear Homes. Now, amid growing criticism and yet more controversy amidst the gaming community, the Ouya boss, who goes by the name of Julie Ehrman, has admitted to problems with the fund and has updated its rules. And she said, quote, "The program isn't working. Regardless of my best intentions, there are just too many loopholes. And the project minimum has now been lowered from 50,000 to 10,000. Quote, she said, "We heard that 50k is too high. We wanted to make sure that your games get made, so we lowered the goal. And we know firsthand that games can be made for 20k or sometimes less. Now, the match amount is now 100% of the funding goal to a maximum of 250,000. And she continued to say, quote, "If you receive more than you asked for from your backers, great, but this should be a measurement of community interest, not a push for more funding." Now, basically how this will work now is that for every 10,000 raised on Kickstarter, the crowdfunding drive must have a minimum of 100 backers. And she continued to say, quote, "The intent is for the community to want your game, not a small number of well-resourced supporters. We feel we need to look at the minimum number of backers to make sure that it's in line with the spirit of our program." And they've also tweaked the exclusivity requirement so that developers can launch on the PC at the same time as the Ouya. And she said again, quote, "We want your game on the TV, but we also want your audience to grow. So if you want to build a PC version at the same time, go for it." And the bonus idea of the Free the Games fund, which is probably the most controversial part of this particular fund, has been ditched entirely. And she said, quote, "We agree, it just doesn't feel right. We think this will support the nature of the fund to make great games. You need to play by the spirit of the fund as much as the rules. We can't account for every loophole. So if we, our community, feel you are gaming the system, we will review your project and consult with our developer friends for their advice and determine whether to fund it or not." Now, she did also touch on Gridiron Thunder, which is of course one of the games that actually matched the original funding idea, and it has now been pulled out of the Free the Games fund, and they have been quoted by saying they don't need the extra cash. And Julie said, quote, "They called us and let us know that they're pulling themselves from the campaign, that they've raised enough money from Kickstarter to launch it on their own. They want that money to go to the developer to bring your game to Ouya. I just want to say that's amazing. They didn't have to do that, and I think it's incredibly awesome of them. We've already seen some of the game. It's looking great, and we're looking forward to working with them on some of their other stuff." And they actually posted an official statement on the Gridiron Thunder Kickstarter page. Now, this is of course the developers, and they confirmed their move by saying, quote, "We feel that too much of the focus lately has been on our Kickstarter campaign instead of on our game. Our hope is that people will now focus more on the game we are about to launch and that we are very excited about. We are pleased that our decision will mean that there will be more money for other developers who otherwise may not be able to develop games. We hope to see some really great games come out of the Free the Games fund." And there has actually already been some positive response from developers to this change in rules. And there was an official statement from Sophie Holden, who did in fact pull her game by the name of Rosen Time from the Ouya marketplace, and this was basically in protest at how they dealt with the controversy and disappointment surrounding the Free the Games fund, and they actually thanked Ehrman for listening to the criticism surrounding this particular fund. And she said, quote, "I wouldn't say that the fund is now perfect, but it's a really big step in the right direction. And I expect and hope a lot of indies will go for it, as it looks like it can really help now. I want to be able to afford to do that, and I want to play their games too. If you can keep this up, keep listening to concerns of gamers and developers, I think it will be super promising for the console. My faith has certainly gone a long way to being restored. I'll be keeping an eye on things for a while, and hopefully I can find myself being comfortable bringing my game back to the console. and I might even consider giving the fund a go myself. So there you have it, the latest news on the Ouya and their Free the Games fund. Now, when I did my video on yet one controversy surrounding this fund just yesterday, I did express my hope that they would have a smoother ride, because the Ouya has not really had a good time of it at all. Since it came out, the original launch was plagued with problems, and now of course we've got this whole Free the Games fund, which has just been a massive ball of controversy since it first came out. So yeah, hopefully this change in rules and the fact that the developers are already reacting positively to these changes will mean that the Ouya can finally just move away from all this drama and actually get some positiveness going around, because all it seems to be at the moment is controversy and negativity. So hopefully the future will be will be better for them, and yeah, we can see the end of this controversy surrounding the fund. Hopefully there will not be any more people trying to take advantage of it, and no more nonsense surrounding it. Fingers crossed for the developers of the Ouya, and of course any indie devs hoping to get their game on the platform. Anyway, that is me done for this video. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.